Here is the reason why this is such a big fight for Tommy Morrison. Surely the most popular fighter on the planet, George Foreman. 24 years of ring experience. Included in that is the 10-year layoff from 1977 to 1987. He is looking tonight for the 73rd victory of his long ring career. And there are the vital statistics for the baby boomer comeback effort that began in 1987.
And George seems positively eager to get into the ring. Doesn't he, Riddick?
Yes, George is coming to the ring with a lot of energy. I like that, George. I think he's ready.
George Foreman, soon to be the star of his own television situation comedy, taping to begin very soon, has put together this background in the ring. 72 wins and 75 fights. The losses to Muhammad Ali and Jimmy Young in the first career. And, of course, the 12-round decision loss to Evander Holyfield on April 19, 1991, when he improbably earned a title shot in this late-in-life comeback. Numbers here, of course, the 20-year age advantage for Morrison, 2 inches difference in height, and the advantage to Foreman there, and Foreman weighs 30 pounds more than Tommy as they enter the ring.
Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks with stars and bars, weighing in at 226 pounds, this knockout artist has a professional record of 36 victories with 32 KOs against only 1 defeat. He comes here tonight from Kansas City. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the number 2 ranked heavyweight in the world, Tommy the Duke Morrison. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the white trunks and weighing in at 256 pounds. We have the 1968 Olympic gold medalist, who now as a professional is 72-3 with 67 KOs, which is the greatest knockout ratio in heavyweight history. Ladies and gentlemen, from Houston, Texas, presenting the former heavyweight champion of the world, here's George Foreman.
All right, gentlemen, Angelo, and if he goes right here, I'm not going to call it low. Right here is going to be all right. Now, you've only had your instructions 1 time. This is for the championship of the world. I expect a tough, clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Any questions here? Any questions here? Let's get it on.
Tommy Morrison is built like a sheer granite cliff. The main question here is whether there is glass or granite on top of the mountain.
And just as Morrison had his own official controversy, wanting the 3 knockdown rule to be wiped out for this bout, Foreman complained about referee Mills Lane, believing that he would have preferred another man to be the 3rd man in the ring. But the Nevada State Athletic Commission stuck to its guns and its favorite referee, Lane, for the bout. Tommy Morrison has said, Riddick Bowe, that he will be too busy for George. He has a habit of starting slowly. Here he tries to use the jab to get active early.
You see Tommy's doing something different already, and George's hands are extremely high. Tommy's backing up in this fight. We've never seen him do that before. So perhaps he knows something that we don't.
Do you think there's any chance that Morrison can be effective backing up?
Not as effective as he is coming forward.
Most of the early action begins with Morrison. Foreman is expected to try to land the jab and dictate the pace of the bout with that punch. Morrison trying to hook to the body. He says that he doesn't believe George Foreman can take punches to the body well, but few fighters have tried to go to George's body because you run the risk of bringing your hands down and leaving your head exposed. Morrison continuing to beat Foreman to the punch. Riddick.
George has got something up his sleeves. What? At this point, we don't know.
Left hook by Morrison. There's the first thunderbolt, and the right lands behind it. Round one is a good one for Tommy Morrison.
Tommy Morrison has a game plan, which is unusual for him. Of course, was Mike Tyson's mentor. He wants Morrison to keep going to the body and then come up to the top.
Punch stack numbers indicated that in the first round, Tommy Morrison threw 4 times as many punches as George Foreman, and Morrison starts the action early in round 2. Now Foreman unleashes the jab, and George looks just a little lighter on his feet, more willing to try to get a rhythm going.
I think George should use the jab a bit more. He might frustrate Tommy with it and open Tommy up for something.
Left hook by Morrison landed on Foreman's face. George has used the jab a couple times early in this round. It is still Morrison who is busier and who seems to be beating George to the punch. Now Morrison makes Foreman back up with the left hook and throws a right hand to the body.
I would like to see George give Tommy Morrison a little more feints and see how he reacts to him.
There's a blunt left inside by Foreman. He misses with a sweeping right. Lands the jab.
Beautiful.
Right hand by Morrison was solid. He lands a left hook inside. Foreman does not show hurt. Tommy Morrison boxing more effectively so far than most might have expected him to do.
This is the in and out formula that Alex Stewart used so effectively in his fight with George. Riddick.
Perhaps it might work for Tommy at this point. But let's see what happens if Tommy is able to last a couple of rounds.
And you saw again the quickness with which Morrison unleashes the left hook. Right hand over the top. George Foreman with the right hand up, very left hook conscious, was open to that right hand.
I'm really surprised George isn't throwing more punches at this point.
Maybe George is surprised by how busy Morrison has been. Now there's a left hand by Foreman, and remember, when you watch Big George, he tends to make opponents woozy sometimes with what appear to be glancing blows. He has exceptionally heavy hands.
Let's see what happens when George is able to land a couple of more of them jabs.
Jab landed for Foreman. Morrison comes back with 2 right hands.
Every time George hits him with a jab, he backs Tommy up.
Morrison, left jab, left hook. Both were glancing blows. Foreman lands the jab again, and again Morrison backs up just as you said he would, Riddick. Right hand lands for Foreman. Morrison momentarily stunned. Closing seconds of round 2. That was the most effective blow so far for Foreman, and Morrison answers with a left hook and a right hand and another left hook.
And here comes a combination, and I think that one stunned George just momentarily. And at the end, George comes in with a pushing but hard right hand. He's a very hard puncher, George is. I should say a very heavy puncher.
Double entente, huh? He's had